You know that feeling when the big brands unveil a new truck? That swagger, that promise of massive power, a revolutionary design, and tech that finally changes the game? They spend billions on the hype, the Super Bowl ads, the perfectly edited YouTube videos that make you feel like you need that machine to complete your life. Well, the truth is, all that swagger is collapsing, and it's leaving a trail of absolute financial destruction on dealer lots. Right now, there are 5 specific trucks, the industry's biggest, most overhyped new vehicles, sitting unsold for so long that dealers are bleeding money on a scale we haven't seen in a decade. We're talking about massive 6-figure machines rotting on blacktop, and the numbers behind their failure are so bad, they'll make you question every truck commercial you've ever seen. By the time this is over, you'll see the specific disasters waiting to happen if you buy one of these troubled beasts, and you'll know exactly which trucks the market has rejected and why. We have to start with the electric dream that has turned into a nightmare for Ford, the F-150 Lightning. Think about the hype. This was supposed to be the revolutionary zero-emission version of the best-selling vehicle in America. Ford poured countless resources into launching this truck, promising the power of an F-150 with a massive frunk and silent operation. But here's the reality. Demand has plunged so low that Ford has repeatedly slashed production, temporarily halting the entire assembly line just to prioritize building gas-powered trucks that people actually want. Yes, the company had to stop making its highly publicized EV flagship because the profits and the buyers dried up. The problem isn't just sales volume, it's the cost. When an automaker sells an EV, it's already losing thousands on every unit. But when a truck sits unsold, that loss accelerates into a financial death spiral. Ford had to transfer hundreds of workers out of the EV plant just to man the gas truck lines, confirming that the money isn't in the future, it's still in the past. When a manufacturer has to stop producing the very vehicle it told the world was its future, you know the product has major unfixable flaws. Smart buyers are watching those production pauses, and they're seeing that the promise of the Lightning is fading into an expensive, subsidized memory. And speaking of bad EV bets, you cannot ignore what's happening with the Ram 1500 family. Ram had a chance to learn from Ford's failures, but instead, they did the classic corporate blunder. They repeatedly delayed their electric trucks. The fully electric Ram REV was pushed back multiple times, all the way into 2026. Why? Stellantis admitted it was due to slowing consumer demand for half-ton BEV pickups. They tried to pivot to the Ramcharger, the supposed Goldilocks solution with a gas engine that acts as an onboard generator, but even that is suffering chronic, repeated delays. The tragedy here is the Ramcharger is exactly what the truck market secretly wanted, an EV that eliminates range anxiety. It promised a combined range of nearly 700 miles. Yet every time Stellantis opens its mouth, the delivery date gets pushed further away. You were supposed to be able to buy this truck in 2024, then early 2025, and now we're looking well into the future, maybe even 2026. This isn't poor marketing, it's an absolute failure of execution, a sign that they can't engineer this complex machine reliably or quickly. Dealers can't sell a truck that doesn't exist, and the constant delays are crushing buyer confidence and allowing the competition to gain ground. It confirms what we already knew. The legacy automakers are rushing their electric models before they've truly worked out the mechanical and software bugs. The trend of EV truck failure isn't complete without looking at the General Motors side of the fence. They tried to go huge with the electric Silverado and its sibling, the GMC Sierra EV. GM had an advantage, the Ultium platform, which was supposed to be the revolutionary base for their electric future. But the Silverado EV is already raising massive red flags, and it's not even widely available to the general public yet. Early commercial and fleet models have faced so many quality control issues that it has forced GM to stall factory production. They are literally slowing down the assembly line to prevent churning out expensive EV trucks they'll have to heavily incentivize later, which only adds to their financial losses. The problems center on the sheer complexity of these high-tech machines. Owners and fleet managers are reporting a shocking number of software glitches, with some trucks needing complete module replacements. This isn't just a frozen screen, It's the vehicle's brain failing. Remember, this is the same Ultium platform that powers the Cadillac Lyriq, the least reliable vehicle in America, and the Honda Prologue, which we talked about last time. GM's strategy of using one complex platform for every new EV is creating an epidemic of shared flaws. They are trading one set of problems for another, and the dealers are sitting on a massive, unproven inventory that consumers are smart enough to stay away from. They see the writing on the wall. First-year GM Electric is simply a beta test you pay $80,000 for. Now let's pivot away from the EVS, because gas-powered trucks are facing their own quiet, brutal disaster, and the most shocking failure is the Toyota Tundra. Toyota, the brand that built its entire reputation on bulletproof reliability and long-term value. When they redesigned the Tundra for 2022, they switched from the proven V8 to a twin-turbo V6 and hybrid power boost options. The result? A reliability nightmare. The new Tundra is now rated as one of the least reliable full-size trucks on the market. We're talking about massive problems that Toyota owners simply aren't used to. There was a major recall for engine failure due to machining debris in the V6, a critical core component failure on a brand new engine. This is why you see the Tundra sitting on dealer lots for over 200 days, an unheard of age for a Toyota product. Toyota dealers are now being forced to offer $10,000 to $12,000 off MSRP, plus incentivized interest rates just to move these troubled units. That is uncharted territory for a brand that used to command top dollar. The Tundra proves that no matter how good your brand name is, a botched redesign that sacrifices reliability for new technology will be instantly rejected by the savvy truck buyer. They know the engine is the heart of a truck, and if the heart is failing, the machine is worthless. And finally, we have to talk about the midsize class where the new Chevrolet Colorado and its sibling, the GMC Canyon, are facing a storm of bad press and disastrous reliability scores. These trucks were completely redesigned, looking sharp and aggressive, and they promised a blend of off-road capability and everyday usability. But under the new sheet metal lies a deeply flawed machine. Consumer Reports slapped the Colorado with a 1 out of 5 predicted reliability score. That is a condemnation. The initial models were hit with 3 recalls right out of the gate, including issues with seat bolts and unexpected automatic emergency braking. While the issues might seem small, they pile up to create a picture of a rushed product. The real-world owner complaints focus on the complex 4-cylinder turbo engine and the new transmission, which struggle with the kind of heavy-duty, consistent use truck buyers demand. They're spending over $30,000 for a machine that scores at the bottom of the barrel for dependability. The market is slowly realizing that this aggressive, redesigned midsize truck is less a workhorse and more a gamble. They are realizing that GM traded proven, reliable simplicity for new, unproven complexity, and that is why these aggressively styled trucks are not flying off the lots as promised. The pattern here is blindingly clear. The truck world's biggest problems boil down to one thing: reckless overspending on hype and underspending on quality control. Manufacturers rushed their electric trucks to market to compete with Tesla, resulting in massive delays and crippling reliability scores. They rushed their gas truck redesigns, trading proven engines for complicated turbocharged V6s that are now experiencing critical failures. Whether it's the F-150 Lightning halting production, the Ram EV being perpetually delayed, the Silverado EV facing software chaos, or the Tundra in Colorado suffering from major mechanical flaws, the message is the same. Do not buy a first-year truck redesign. The penalty for being a beta tester is a lifetime of frustrating repairs and crippling depreciation. The dealers are desperate, the inventory is aging, and the manufacturers are losing the trust that took them decades to build. The market is screaming for reliability, and the brands are delivering a spectacular series of flops.